Crowdfunding is an alternative to venture capital. It does not substitute venture capital.
So Yann, starting off, could you tell us what is crowdfunding?
Crowdfunding is an alternative form of financing. Generally, a large number of people provide a small amount in order to realize the project. It's very important that there is a direct internet-based communication between funders and founders of the project. It's a key element of all type of crowdfunding. There are two systems, crowd investment and crowd lending. I don't take into account the crowd supporting. The main difference between them is the fact that in equity crowdfunding the money is invested in a company in exchange for participation or of the company. Meanwhile, in crowd lending, the money is lent to the company or the project, and the investor will get the money back through a fixed payment schedule with a fixed interest. So the purpose of crowd investing is to acquire a stake in a company via equity or mixed form of equity and mezzanine capital, and the founders receive shares of the company or share in the profit of the company in the case of mezzanine funding. Crowd lending mainly refers to loans for funding companies or projects, which is consequently categorized as borrowed capital. So lenders receive interest payment in return their loan, and the amount of the interest payments varies depending on the risk of the funders. So just for information, in Switzerland, last year around 20 Swiss million francs have been invested via crowdfunding, representing less than 3 Swiss francs per inhabitant. In the US, it's 3 billion US dollar, representing more than 50 US dollar per inhabitant.
And what kind of crowdfunding would you recommend?
It depends of the aim and of the investors. I would say investing in equity crowdfunding does not exclude investing in equity crowd lending. So it's important to diversify and to use both ways of crowdfunding.
So what are the benefits of crowdfunding?
If the project or the company is successful, the return of crowdfunding is potentially pretty high. The investments will typically multiply its value more than 10 times. But the risk is also pretty high, as depending also of the contract. There is no obligation to pay back the investments if the company fails. In case of success, the investor can expect a time horizon over 5 years, and the follow-up is dependent on the management team. So the investor have no guarantee to be informed. This is a critical point because the founders have to put in place an IT and database platform to identify all the shareholders, the lenders, and their interests. When you have more than 3,000 lenders or shareholders, you have to be ready to deal on a case-by-case basis with any future requests.
And can you talk us through what people should go through if they're looking to undergo crowdfunding?
In European Union and in Switzerland, there is no specific regulations or specific contracts between the funders and the founders of the project. It's a mix of contracts depending on the situation, and the founders or the company could be subject to authorization under the European or Swiss regulations based on financial intermediaries law with anti-money laundering regulations, and also sometimes with stock markets and securities dealing act. If the proximity and the direct communication between the company and the lenders is important. The company cannot take advantage of the networks or the specific expertise of a venture capital company. The founders have to prepare all documents. They have to care of their counterparts. They also have to find solution to organize the annual general meetings. That could be difficult to prepare it, as the shareholders are based in different countries and different continents. So crowdfunding helps to fund companies, startups, but crowdfunding is an alternative to venture capital. It does not substitute venture capital.
Fantastic. Well, Yann, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you.
That's all for myself and Yann, but for all the latest Ducoscopy market moves, do keep clicking back. Goodbye for now.